Hello, this is Mark Sidler. I'm the author for DC Survey. This is an introduction to how to download and install the DC Survey program. What you see is the email. Notice that your order has been prepared for download and that there is a link to that software download in that email. Once you have clicked that link, brings you to the download screen on the website. Once you download, which generally only takes a minute or two, the program and the zip file have been deposited in the download folder. So we go over and check that. In the downloads folder, you'll see the DC Survey zip file. At this point, it's recommended that you move it into a previously created DC Survey folder on the C drive. Local disk C DC Survey folder. Once we've moved it in there, you'll see there's nothing else there at the moment. Let's begin to unzip. This is where other users have had some difficulty in understanding the protocols that DC Survey needs. I use WinZip, but in any case, whatever unzip software that you use, it's important to place the files that are in the zip file directly into the DC Survey folder. Now this is the contents of the zip file. I will unzip it, but I am cautious to do the unzip to a different location option, in which case I make sure that the DC folder has been selected and I say unzip. Now you can see that all of the files have been placed in the DC Survey. This is important because DC Survey uses the DC Survey folder as its base folder for looking for many of the support files. In the README first file, it does give the same instructions, but in there you will see there is your registration code. In the case of the trial versions, this is consistent for every user. So write that down or print this out so that you have it as a reference. Then let's go and do the setup. Now, in that setup process, you're presented with the DC Survey registration. Let's go ahead and enter that. You will see that it splits that code into 6 characters in one field and 6 characters in the second field. And then the register button becomes active. Clicking on that will give you a confirmation that your product is now registered. Let's click on that and continue. Now, in this process, every time a trial version is started, you'll be presented with this question. Do you have a new license code? Did you purchase the production version, or are you still in the trial version mode? In this case, you would click no. I just need to continue with the trial version, and click on continue. This now presents us with the DC file, the DC Survey program, in its initial startup form. That concludes the tutorial on downloading and installing. as a summary, it's important to move the zip file into your DC survey folder and then unzip those files to that same folder. Do not create any subfolders. Thank you.